Hi, this is Alan from Training Systems New Zealand with the third in our series of videos introducing you to the Neulog range of sensor data loggers. I've got the Neulog software in front of me on the screen here, and I've just pressed the search for sensors button, which is the one on the left at the top there, and it is just setting up the temperature and light sensors. I've got the two in a train connected to the USB bridge onto the laptop. And as you see, when I open the offline experiment mode, and I'm going to demonstrate the offline experiment mode to you here, we've got both the temperature and light set up there. Now, to set those up, to set the experimental duration, I can change that. I can make it 30 seconds if I wish, which I'll do. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to set the light one up for 30 seconds as well, make it a little bit longer experiment. Automatically accepts that. And now all I need to do is to disconnect the sensors from the USB bridge, connect them into a battery unit, and start the experiments. When I press the buttons on each of them, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to point the light sensor towards the fluorescent lights in the office. I'm going to put the temperature sensor into some warm water. The experiment's running as I'm speaking, and then I'm going to put the light sensor on the desk again and take the temperature sensor out of the warm water and wait for those red lights on the sensors to go out. And that could be done a long way away from the computer. Can be taken any distance away with the battery unit and those experiments done. Okay, we're pretty much done now. So I'm going to unplug the battery unit, plug the two sensors back into the USB bridge, bring them back to the computer, and I'm going to press this button here, load data from the sensors. So here we are, we're loading all the data, both of the sensors. There we are, we've loaded our 30-second experiment. As you see, the light went up when I was pointing it towards the lights, and the temperature went up when I put it in the hot water. So as I said before, we can actually do an XY graph on this, and it won't make much sense, but just to show you that it can be done, we can put temperature on the x-axis, or we can have light on the x-axis, or we can have some manual values. As I said, that doesn't make a lot of sense with these two parameters, but that's what we can do. The other thing we can do is, of course, do some mathematics with the two units. So we can do, if we change this one to being light, for example, we can calculate, get the graph to calculate, let's say A divided by B, and plot that on the chart. So there, that's A divided by B. So that gives you an idea of how to operate in offline mode. Very simple, click of a button. Again, you can save the data, export to Excel, and you can also, something I don't know that I showed before, you can actually freeze the data and go and do an experiment again. So we'll press the buttons on there, and there'll be some experiments done as we speak. I'm going to do the same thing again just to run through that and try to do a very similar experiment. I might have been a bit quicker there. We'll just wait for the end of that 30-second period, and we'll plug into the USB bridge. Just waiting for the end of the 30-second period when the lights on the sensors will go out. Yep, now they have, so I'm plugging into the USB bridge again, and I'm downloading all of the data once again. So again, we have got two sets of data, and we can compare them. So that's the offline mode. So now I've shown you the online modes and the offline modes, and run through the basic functionality of the software. I'm going to show you the range of data loggers and talk about that in the final video in this introductory series. Thanks very much for your attention.